Hello, everybody. I don't have the energy for this after 3 tries. This is our 3rd time trying to record this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NewsCube. It's me and Sian again because nobody loves us. We've done this joke 3 times already, and I'm knackered.
It's not funny anymore. Basically, we're lonely people.
We're lonely people. Come and love us. Subscribe.
Yes.
We are 6 subscribers away from 666 subscribers at the moment.
So, please subscribe. Preferably more than 6. It has to be more than 6, but no less than 6. So, yeah. One or the other. We want more subscribers, though.
Oh, that's what I get for having my mic resting on my piano while I'm trying to do a piano sting. Anyway, insert evil music here. Anyway, right. 2 announcements before we get started. Number 1, we've moved the podcast dates to Fridays because we record on Sundays, and uploading on Tuesdays gave me a day to edit, and I was so stressed. Like, so stressed a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
That I wasn't able to get it up in time. I'm also moving the live stream date to Fridays as well, because, again, that's easier for me. Things will be at the same time, it's just a different day. Sorry for the absence. We'll put out something at some point, I think. Maybe you could tweet or something.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Maybe we could use the community tab on the YouTube. Just to...
Oh yeah, that would be a great idea.
Yeah. Hey guys, just so you know, we're shuffling our schedule around a little bit. But the second bigger announcement is that we are currently, as contributors, in the process of choosing for various games for various awards. I'm closing the voting next Saturday for contributors. We're recording on the 17th, and then on the 23rd is going live for the Cubed Gamers Contributors' Choice Awards. And the... Wait, is it going up on the... No, it's going up on the 22nd, sorry. It's going up on the 22nd. And also on the 22nd, therefore, will be our after-party live stream. I'm hoping to have as many people on the podcast as possible, just because I want to make it a bit of a special one.
Yeah.
And if anyone's also free for the live stream, it might be quite fun to have people on. But yeah, we're currently voting. It's going to be great, although it's not going to be a huge event. I've got a few other things planned for next week as well, as special things. If you've listened to season 1 of the podcast, you might have an idea of a few ideas that I have that we're going to be doing. So
I wish it could be a live stream, but I just know that we're going to have so many technical difficulties because we've never done that.
Oh, there's going to be hundreds. There's going to be absolutely hundreds. It's going to be so fun. And
Yeah.
by fun, I mean fun in quotes. 3rd time recording this podcast. Anyway! Shall we get started?
Yes, again and again.
Right.
3rd time's the charm.
Okay! First on our news list. There was a thing that happened this past week for PlayStation people. I'm not a PlayStation person, so I don't know.
Oh, I love PlayStation. I grew up on that.
Fair. I've never been allowed to own a PlayStation.
Really? Like, not allowed?
Yeah, my dad won't allow... So, until I came to uni, when I was 18, my dad wouldn't allow PlayStation or any Sony products or anything in the house.
Ooh.
He was a massive Microsoft fanboy, so it was Xbox all the way.
Okay. Well, at least I'll like your dad. I'll like your dad for saying that he is... I'm a big Microsoft fan. Does he have the big Microsoft band watch?
Well, he was a big Microsoft fan only because he worked in the computer industry. So he was like, oh, it's the technical standard. We have to use Microsoft because it's the standard for everything. And then Windows 8 happened, and once he'd retired, Windows 8 happened, and he was firmly against Microsoft from that day forward.
I liked Windows 8 at the same time. I liked Windows 8, actually.
I
didn't have too
wanted
many
to set fire to
one.
Windows 8. Windows 8.1 was okay. Windows 10 is... If I say that Windows 10 is copable, will my computer set on fire? That is the question.
I like Windows 10. I have issues with the shop. It's just so weird. Like, sometimes I can download stuff from their store, and then sometimes, no. It won't install anything, and I have no idea why.
Weird.
Yeah.
I have a few issues with Windows 10, but mostly that's due to updates and how all of their updates nowadays seem to brick my system.
Yeah, and I have an issue with really bad roaming files that I just don't know where they come from.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned to you, I had a laptop that came with only 20 gigs, and I hardly installed anything on there to suddenly run out. And I'm like, how can I run out? And to open it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing only has 20 gigs, and Windows 10 is taking up nearly everything. Because I upgraded it. It originally came with Windows 8.
Yeah.
So I had no issue, but when I went to 10, it was a huge problem. And yeah, I literally, for the longest time, had nothing but a couple of megabytes of save. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. Yeah, I only had a couple of megabytes to the point of where some of the icons, like the Edge or whatever the store, wouldn't even load anymore. I had such little space on that thing.
Concerning.
Yeah, well, so I just fixed it recently. So I bought this huge SSD card on the Black Friday, put it in my computer, and then the idea was to take the old SSD and put it in that laptop. To only open the laptop and find out that it has no hard drive.
What?
And that they didn't even bother to solder on... Like, when I say no hard drive, I mean not even the cables to connect the hard drive either.
Wow.
There's nothing.
Wow.
There's nothing. Even somebody on YouTube tried to solder on cables for it, and it still wouldn't work. So, lesson has learned, you don't buy a laptop from Walmart. Because that is just, that did not go well. None of that went as planned. Yeah. It still can be saved. I have to buy, it seems as though all I have to do is buy an SD card.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think, I'm just still kind of like flabbergasted. I'm just like, wow, why would you sell that? It's a good laptop. I mean, for what, I'm not a laptop person.
Yeah.
Like, there's some people that like to travel around with their laptop and have things like Adobe on there and do video games on the laptop. That's not me. You know, my laptop is like, oh, I need to write an article real quick, and I'm really busy. Why don't I just, or I want to get out of the house. Let me write my article, you know, at the Starbucks or whatever. Or even when I went to Thanksgiving to my parents, I had to write. So I took the laptop with me. It's for stupid stuff like that. I don't do anything major on a laptop to constantly be buying one or upgrading it. Yeah. But
I've been considering getting a gaming laptop, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's just, I'd rather be on a desktop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Makes sense. But yeah, anyway, we've gone on a massive segue, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
When does a segue just become talking about a different topic?
We've kind of always sadly done that.
Then again, I feel like this topic is trailing.
Oh, what a bad segue.
I think my bad segues are getting worse as we get closer to Christmas.
Oh.
Right, yes, we have game trailers, PS4 game trailers. that have made me want a PS4 like madly. And I now have a new TV which I bought off other Sean, which is 40 inches, and I don't have a games console to hook up to it right now. So maybe I will buy a PS4. Who knows?
I say a PS4. It's discounted deep enough.
Yeah. I'm genuinely curious as how much a PS4 is now. But yeah.
It must be like £250 or something.
How much can I get it from Argos? Hold on. PS4 consoles from Argos. £229.99.
Yeah, see?
I don't want it with a game, though. I don't like FIFA, and I don't like Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I don't like Call of Duty World War 2. Why do people not get that I don't like normal games? Or $2.99 for the 1 terabyte for the PS4 Pro.
I think I upgraded my terabyte to 2 terabytes.
Yeah.
We are also doing it again, by the way. We're off topic.
Yes, right. So, trailers. Trailers, everything.
Yay, trailers.
These were from PlayStation Experience?
Yeah, these were from PlayStation Experience.
Yeah. So, GameSpot have a whole list of them. We only had a look at a few of them.
Yeah, which ones did you like?
Okay, so I really, really, really liked the concept of Donut County. It reminds me of a game called Tasty Planet. It was very much, Tasty Planet was a game where you basically, you play essentially a grey goo kind of monster, and it eats up all of the things that are smaller than it that come into contact with it. And it's pretty much the same concept, but it's cute and it's like polygraphics, and it has raccoons and they're adorable, and I love the trailer, and it's just yes. Can I get that, please?
Oh my gosh, I just thought something. I know we're going to be off topic on this, but 2 things. It's really more than one thing. First off, it snowed for you.
Yes, it did. It is currently snowing outside.
And then so I took advantage of the trending tweets on Twitter. And I forgot to tweet about the original Microsoft DOS game, Ski.
You didn't tweet about Ski?
Yeah. I'm upset now. I meant to do that. I know. But continue, sorry. I was like, oh, the ultimate skiing game.
It's Ski.
How did I forget?
How can you not tweet about Ski when it's snowing?
Is it called Ski? Wait. How come I can't find it? Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's it. And yeah.
Another one you mean?
How I forgot. Yeah, you know the one I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry to get us off track again. It just occurred to me. Yeah. So, what other trailers did you like?
Okay, so 20XX. I'm pretty sure that I played that at EGX a few years back. From what it looks like, I would really recognise it, and I recognise the name. I really want to play that. I definitely did play Guns of Icarus Alliance at EGX. And again, really, really enjoyed it, so I want that one as well. Hover, though. Hover, fast-paced single and multiplayer parkour game in a futuristic 3D open world. I am 95% sure that this is a spiritual successor to a game series called Jet Set Radio. And Jet Set Radio Future, which is, it's technically a sequel, but not really. It's sort of a remake, but not quite. It's a bit weird. I love both of them. They are basically like, you're a roller skater and you roller skate as part of a gang around the streets of Tokyo, and it's like, and you fight the police, and it's the best game ever, and I love it so fucking much. Like, I can't get enough of Jet Set Radio Future. Like, seriously, I love it. And Hover looks pretty much identical, but in the far future. And I need that in my life. If anyone's struggling for a Christmas present for me, then I'm not going to say no. Anamorphine, which is a PSVR. I'm not sure how you describe it. It's interesting.
It looked like from the trailer, like they were hoarding, and it's like it's a point-click game, but it's VR. That's what it looked like to me. But it looked like for the first stage was to get out of that room that it was just piles of junk.
I mean, I'm not sure if... Oh, for fuck's sake!
I think I lost you.
Right, I'm so sick of this.
No, keep going.
Okay.
Don't rage.
We'll just keep going with the recording and I'll edit that bit out. Okay.
Yeah, that one wasn't too bad.
Yeah, if you can tell me as soon as you notice, I can fix it. Yeah. Okay, where were we? Right. So, I'm pretty sure with Anamorphine, it's not referring to Animorph, which is the asexual reproductive stage of fungus.
For a minute there, I thought you were going to say, Animorph. So there's no way you guys had this. It was a really popular book series. It could have been a television show at one point, but it was called Animorph. Have you ever heard of that? I gotta show you a picture now.
However, there is a film called Animorph, 2007 independent psychological thriller, and I remember somebody saying that the the game was sort of psychological horror. So,
no, this is definitely it was very much a kids thing, and the covers were always interesting because they would be like a normal kid.
Oh, that's weird.
Did you guys have that?
No,
there's no way, right?
I don't know why.
Yo, but it's just crazy. Like every cover, a person sort of converts into some sort of animal. Like they just morph into an animal. This was really popular when I first came to the US. And I gotta say, and I don't think anyone was ever interested in actually reading those books as more of just collecting them.
This explains Donald fucking Trump.
It's crazy. But that's just what I thought you were going to mention. I thought you were going to mention something about Animorphs.
Well, like I say, there's Animorph, which is a film, which is a psychological thriller. And I remember reading that Anamorphine is a psychological thriller game thing, so it may have some relation to that. Not sure. Anyway, other games that I saw, Shadow of the Colossus on PS4 and PSVR.
I've always been interested in that game, but I never played it.
And they're bringing to PSVR as well. They're bringing the other one that's like it but not, Last Guardian.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure how that's going to work in VR.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not against VR. It's just I just don't see too much of a need for it right now.
The character was going up and down and up and down on the back of the weird dog wolf creature. That's
it'd be cool if you were the kid himself and you get to ride the dog and kind of experience that a bit. I think then it would be cool. Yeah. Well, maybe I could also relive my fantasy of. Have you ever seen the movie Neverending Story?
Yes, but I've repressed that memory because it made me very, very upset, and I'm not sure why.
Why? Aww. Well, anyway, he rides on the back of that sort of dragon dog, and so, yeah, I think that was kind of interesting. I don't know. I'm just not into VR. It's not like I've tried it or anything. It's just I kind of just don't see the point.
I need to get James on here to rant about VR.
Like some games,
he loves it.
Was he for? he loves VR. I mean, I'm not against it. It's just like, it's like what I mentioned. It's like, you grow up in a certain era, and you want the future, right? But then it's like, when it gets there, you're just like, eh. And I'm just kind of like, what in the world am I gonna like that game? What is it? Not Absolver. What was it called? What was the other game that we just mentioned? That looked like they were Animorphs? No, hold on. Anamorphine. Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's just basically a point click, Like, why does it need to be in VR? I mean, that's nice, but it's just like, why does it need to be in VR? Like, what are you gonna do for me? I mean, I guess, but it's just like, is it gonna be that much of a submerged experience? You know what I mean? Like, how good of an experience is this gonna be?
You're not just playing the character. You are the character.
That's a lot of
just
crap.
Quoting the marketing at you, like, make your own decisions, people.
Yeah.
This is a podcast intended to incite discussion,
not
to tell you what to think.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just not into... I just haven't seen a game that would make me go... Yeah, I totally...
Roco?
What? Wait,
no, but
was
imagine Loco Roco in VR.
I've never played it.
I've played like the trailer of the first, like there was a demo version on. I think it may have actually even been the Wii, of the first one, and I loved it. And then I found out that it was only available on the Vita, and I was really sad because I was never allowed like Sony consoles, like I say. So it's like sad.
Yeah. It's like, see, I just can't think of a game that I would really want in VR. Like, what was cool that like really made me excited for games? Things like the Wii, with the Joy-Con controllers. That was cool to me. Like, actually moving around, like, your hands just moving around all over the place. That was cool, but the VR thing, maybe I just have to try it. Not for that price point, unfortunately. They're just gonna have to drop it down a bit.
And I get a VR system, man.
Yeah, I'll try it. It's just, so far, I don't know. I'm not too impressed with some of the VR. And then some games, it's just like, like VR chess, VR pinball. Like, really? And at that point, it's just like, I might as well just grab the chess game and just go and just play. Or go somewhere where there is a pinball game.
Then again, I guess it's VR. Keep talking and nobody explodes. Do you not know keep talking and nobody explodes? You are seriously missing out, my friend. It's a game where so you can play it with 2 or more people.
Apparently,
okay. It's like an actual it's like a video game. It's an actual video game. 2 or more people. It's by the same people who made what's the game called? Surgeon Simulator, I think. I think it's by the same people. And it's so one of you is playing the actual game, and you are trying to defuse a bomb. Okay? The rest of you are away from the computer and can't see the computer screen, but what you do have is the bomb defusal manual. So, the person who can see the bomb has to try and relay the information to the person with the manual. Then the person with the manual has to relay how to defuse the bomb to the person with the bomb. Except that it's things like, so, what's on the bomb display then? The word there. Is that THEIR or THERE? It's they are, as in there, as in they are. Etc., etc. And then, okay, so now you have to, so what you have to type into the display is, your. And it's like, YOURE? YOUR? And it's like, all of the modules are like that level of difficulty. It's things like, only cut the red wire if the blue wire and the green wire are touching and there's a star somewhere on the bomb and the serial number of the bomb ends in a 7. And you're sitting there in the game just going, where's the serial number? I'm gonna explode! It's awfully fucking stressful, and it's so good! Like, literally, I would play it with you. I would actually play that with you. Keep talking, nobody explodes.
I'd play that with you too.
Yeah, in VR, because then you're literally holding the bomb.
Oh, that would be cool though.
And it's like, so there's a mod for Keep Talking, which is like, because like some people are crazy good at it. Like they've played it that much that they're crazy good at it. So it like adds new, like even harder, modules. So like bombs are made up of modules. So it adds new, even harder modules, and one of, like, the last bomb is actually an elevator, and you're trapped in the elevator, and you have to defuse 48 modules in, I think it's 4 minutes? And you'll just sit, and that would be terrifying in VR, I think. And I really want that.
Yeah,
I really fucking want that. So what trailers did you see that you were excited for?
Yeah. There was. Let me scroll down the list. There was a Mulaka, a 3D action adventure game based on the indigenous culture of the Taramuhara. That's coming to PlayStation 4. Kind of like a 3D. It was sort of like a stylized 3D.
Yeah.
Video game. I thought that was nice. Children of Mortar. It looks like sort of like an indie game. That's going to be for the PS4. Well, I think these are all for the PS4, really. But that one had like a, it was pixel style. Same goes for Tower 57. Fast-paced neo-retro shooter where cooperation is as almost important as ammo capacity. So that one looked pretty good. And then there was Moonlighter. Moonlighter is an action RPG with roguelite elements and demonstrates two sides of the coin. That actually looked pretty good, and it had it's sort of like a top-down view. So I think Binding of Isaac was kind of in that view, and like some of the very old Zeldas. So it seemed to have that kind of style to it. Yeah, I mean, there's some, big titles coming up like Soul Calibur 6. Rick and Morty, I guess you can say, is big, but I'm not into that show. There's the Monster Hunter World. There's Medieval Remastered. Last Guardian VR. Yeah. I guess I'm just not into these big... I like big AAA games, don't get me wrong, but the whole... we've made this massive universe... Sort of like Xenoblade Chronicles. We've made this massive universe, and it sort of looks like an MMORPG. I'm a little worn out of those, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just kind of a bit exhausted of those games. So I'm just, almost kind of looking somewhere else now.
Definitely. We definitely need to do that podcast on, games we would design, Oh, yeah. I'm definitely up for that.
Oh, yeah.
I think that'll be in the new year. At some point. Anyway, so... Speaking of things that are happening in the new year, Stardew Valley is coming to the Vita, and the multiplayer beta, they're both coming out in the first quarter of 2018.
Are you saying Vita or Beta?
Vita.
Okay, it sounded like you're saying Beta, and I was looking at the title of this thing, and I'm like, please, dear God, tell me Brits do not say Beta instead of Beta.
Oh no, we also say Beta.
Oh, dear God.
Vita and Beta rhyme. And Eta as well.
It's sort of like, is it data or data? No
data.
One knows. Yeah, so many different things.
And it's garage, not garage.
I pass on that one too.
It's Nigel Farage, not Nigel Farage. Actually, it's pronounced fucking twat. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to get political. Oh, this video is going to be so demonetized.
Yeah, you might want to cut that part out.
Rip. Anyway, Stardew Valley, the multiplayer update is going to be released in beta, or beta, if you're American.
That's a little too much. That's like an ER at the end of it.
Yeah, I forget your accent is rhotic, not non-rhotic like mine.
Yeah. That's all. It changes. I mean,
sorry, linguistics nerd. Right. I
can already hear my accent slowly changing just the more and more I just talk to you, so I'm already... Yeah.
Good. I'm just here to be creepy. Right! Maybe the 8 will be concerned. Well, hey, Stardew Valley. Right. Yeah. The multiplayer beta and the Vita release are coming in 2018, first quarter. I'm hella excited. One of the things that he's trying to do right now is make it so that you can marry other players.
Oh, now that's awesome. I love that.
That would be adorable.
Yeah. I'm not sure about it being on Vita though. I mean, it's just I'm not giving up either Sam or Sebastian. Yeah.
I can't remember who I married in the game. It was one of the two.
I wonder if you can marry anyone in the game. Like, literally anyone.
You can't marry everyone, but most people.
Well, you know what I'm saying, though, right? Like, man or woman, it makes me wonder if they would allow it.
Oh, yeah, so no matter what your gender is as a farmer,
you
can marry up to 6 guys and 6 girls. Only one at a time, mind, but... That's one thing I always wanted, a polyamory mod.
Yeah.
As somebody who identifies as polyamorous, like, it would be nice to have a polyamorous mod, because then I can marry Sam and Sebastian.
Not bad.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's just, the Vita, it's kind of like a dying system.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
it's dead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against them, putting it out on the Vita. I'm just like, even I hardly touch my Vita TV, and I quite enjoy my Vita TV. That also being said,
yeah,
that kind of pissed off a lot of people because it was sort of promised that whatever games were on the Vita handheld would be compatible with the Vita TV, and that's so not the case. Like, it's really not the case at all.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of those people, I kind of like to sit home and play games. It's not that I don't like to... it's not like I'm an anti-handheld person, but it's like, if I have no reason to travel... Like, basically, I'm only going to play games... I'm only going to be handheld if I travel.
Yeah.
Like, very rarely do I just play games on a handheld just because it's on a handheld. It's like, if I can sit down and play it, I'll play it. So, yeah, it makes me wonder what I would play, too, if I'd go to the UK, but, because that's a 6-hour flight, so usually I need something, especially to, actually, I think what I usually try to do is sleep, because I know when I get there, my whole sleep schedule is kind of off, and I tend to, stay up all night.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, not against it, just I just think, why the Vita? But I mean, that's cool though. That's cool, and I like the multiplayer.
The multiplayer aspect, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's nice as well.
I'm really excited for that. So we're going to end the news section of the podcast with our now becoming tradition, music section. I decided I'm going to make this a thing.
Yeah, and I like that. Was it the Alola region thing?
Alola That Jazz.
Alola
so
That
Pokemon
Jazz.
Sun and Moon Jazz album.
Ooh, I like that.
I love jazz, so I'm up for this.
You have very great taste in jazz. In fact, I'll post this on our page as well.
Yep, it will be in the what do you call it? It will be in the video description if anybody wants to check it out. I'll put both the Spotify. No, I'll put the. I think I'll just put the Bandcamp, but it is also available on Spotify and also Apple Music. iTunes. It's also available on iTunes. And I'm like, yes, just yes. I am all over this.
Yeah.
And also, I will probably fade in and out one of the tracks if I can get one.
Nice.
Again, like I did last week. So, if you like what you are hearing now, then go and check them out. It's Sailing in the Rain music. So, that is our news and music sections. So, should we get on to the meat and potatoes of the thing?
Well, let's do the upcoming releases.
Oh, yes, of course, releases. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Starting
Handing
on...
over to you.
Yeah, starting on December 12th, we will have... So, let's see what's coming. ACA Neo Geo, The Last Blade on the Nintendo Switch. I guess that's an old Neo Geo game, is what I'm assuming. Yeah, that's definitely what it looks like.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a Neo Geo before?
I haven't.
It's pretty cool. Someone in high school that I knew showed it to me. The fail of that system was that it was just ridiculously expensive. It was like the first handheld that was like in color. But it was just ridiculously expensive. And so, yeah, pretty much everyone just defaulted to Nintendo. So, that's why I'm to the Neo Geo. Yeah, it is a cool system, though. I mean, it looks fantastic. Like, if you knew when it came out, you would just be blown away. But apparently it was just really expensive at the time.
Yeah.
Also coming soon, Fallen Legion, Flames of Rebellion, PS4. Okami HD, PS4. And I'm almost getting sick and tired of them re-releasing Okami. It's a great game, but it's just like... For every console generation, it's always there, and I'm just kind of like, can you make Okami 2, please, or 3, or just something? But like, I'm so sick and tired of it. Players Unknown Battlegrounds, is that the PUBG?
That's PUBG, yeah.
Okay, that's coming out on Xbox One. So also, I wish I remember the name of the game. There's another version of PUBG. I was visiting someone, and this kid, he was playing it. Yeah, Fortnite. And so...
It's not made by the same people, but it's essentially the same thing.
It's essentially the same thing, yeah, and I was watching him play that game, and
now that we've said that, we're going to get so much hate and argument in the comments, but
really?
Fuck it, bring it, bitches, they're the same.
Yeah, I mean...
Fight me!
It looks
Fight
cool.
me IRL!
Yeah, I mean... I can definitely see that it's geared to more towards kids.
Yeah.
You know, and he was a kid and he was playing with other kids as well, so that was kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean, I now that I know, because I didn't know what PUBG was, I have no idea. I was like, what is this? After seeing him play that, I'm like, okay, I can see the appeal for something like PUBG.
Yeah.
You know, it's basically Survivor. It's basically Last Man Standing.
Yeah, it's a survival battle royale. I've even been tempted to play it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
look.
So, I've got involved at uni. There's a society called the Assassin's Guild.
Yeah.
Where we literally run around and shoot each other with Nerf guns. It's like a giant battle royale in Sheffield between like everyone in the guild, and it's fucking amazing, and I love it. So
nice.
I want to check out PUBG at some point. I've not got around to it though.
Yeah, it just after seeing them play that, looked like a pretty interesting game. So PUBG, that's coming out on Xbox One. Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, End of Zoe, that's coming out on PS4, and then the gold edition of that is also on PS4.
Yeah.
The End is Nigh, Nintendo Switch. On December 13th, we've got Final Fantasy 15 Episode Ignis. So that's DLC. December 14th, we have Dynasty Feud, PS4. Enter the Gungeon, Nintendo Switch. One More Dungeon, Nintendo Switch. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, that's PS4. Yooka-Laylee, Nintendo Switch. I think I've heard about that one.
What,
I think they had a lot of... Yeah, and I think they had a lot of issues maybe trying to get the game going. I think originally they wanted to be on the Wii U. Yeah. Great, now they finally made it to the Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
Ooh, this is really good. I've never played this, but I've been interested. Romancing Saga 2. That's coming out on the 15th. You will see loads of tweets of that. I've already tweeted like crazy about that with like screenshots and everything. Sort of like that old school like pixel game.
Yeah.
It's coming out on PS4, Nintendo Switch, and Vita. I probably would get that on the Switch. That's not only a good handheld game, but I wouldn't mind that on the Switch, and I think it will run fine, in my opinion. But we'll see what everyone else says.
Yeah.
Later on. But yeah, I'm kind of interested in that one. I've heard of Romancing Saga. I just never got around to it, but I think that's cool. That's coming out on the 15th. December 19th. Accounting Plus. PS4. Brawlout. Yeah, I know, right? Accounting. Then again,
that reminds me a bit of Job Simulator.
Oh my... See, and I was about to say that. It sounds like a simulator game. I'm good.
I love Job Simulator, though.
There's just too many simulator games. Oh my gosh, you have to see the image of this thing. I don't even know what that is.
Oh god, show me.
Oh my gosh. It is
over.
Hilarious. It's like a little goblin. I don't even know what that is.
Oh my... No, I know what this is.
What is it?
This is, so it's by the same people who write Rick and Morty.
Oh, okay. Well, what is that?
It's not a Rick and Morty video game, but it's basically a Rick and Morty video game.
Well, what is that
It's the same
blob?
sense of humour. Don't ask, basically. It's fucking weird.
Oh, I might post that, on our Twitter.
Just that, oh my god, I need to... When we hit 666 subscribers, can I change the Cube Gamers logo to just be that face for a day?
No.
Come on, Sean. Come on.
Oh my gosh. That is such a terrible face. It's such a troll face. Oh my gosh.
Come on.
When we hit 666, now everyone has to subscribe. And if we go past it, then you've lost your chance. So we have to. I
might just update my Twitter photo to be that for a day.
It's just this ugly little blob that is just angry and staring at me.
You're going really Cockney.
I know it gets worse and worse.
This ugly little blob.
Ugly little blob. Oh my god!
I love when people's accents change.
Oh, now see, imagine me actually over there. Eh? It's just going to be completely different.
I'm awaiting the day. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So,
I really want to change my Twitter picture to that. If people aren't following us on Twitter, like Sam has a Twitter, I have a Twitter. There's obviously the Cube Gamers Twitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm Miss RPG on Twitter.
I'm Lucky Lotus. You can find me everywhere under that handle. But yeah, that's accounting. That's VR accounting.
Yeah, there's a Brawlout, Nintendo Switch, Dragon Fang Z, The Rose, and Dungeon of Time. That's a long one. Dragon Fang Z, The Rose, and the Dungeon of Time. That's on Nintendo Switch. And we have on December the 21st, Mom Hid My Game, 3DS.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. Now that it's slowly, now that that the PS3 and the 3DS is not as popular anymore. Now this is when you're gonna see these really random Japanese games come on there.
Yeah.
So that is it for upcoming releases.
Hey, so how many of those are going to be awful? Bad segue. You know what? Right, for the new year, I really just want to get, like, I'm gonna try and get a thing. I'm gonna try... Have you ever seen QI?
QI? No.
TV show.
Nah.
Oh god, okay, so... it's a TV show which is like, it's a panel show, and they ask questions that are, quote, quite interesting, unquote, which is what QI stands for.
Yeah.
And they're things that, it's things like common misconceptions and all that. So it'll be like, how many spiders a year does the average person eat? And then they'll have a discussion about that. But if somebody says the commonly misconcepted answer, so which is 8 spiders a year, then, like, klaxons go off and flashing lights, and it's like, you've made the classic error sort of thing. So I'm considering getting, like, a piece of footage that I can overlay that's just like, bad segue!
Speaking of which, I don't think you would know the film, but I just recently watched Field of Dreams, and do you know the film? It has Kevin Costner in it, James L. Jones. So that's the film where he goes out into the cornfield and he builds a baseball game, and there's the famous line of, "If you build it, he will come."
Ah.
But the common sort of misconception of the quote is, "If you build it, they will come." Yeah. So that's one of them. That's what you remind me of when you said that.
Yep. But yeah. So anyway, on to our bad games. So
this is going to be fun.
So Sean, what makes a bad game for you?
Usually, what makes a bad game for me is not even a terrible story. I think just a really bad mechanic. Once you have one really, really bad mechanic, it can ruin a game. Yes. Despite anything else like being good for it, it can really, really, really ruin a game. And considering the fact that I mostly play RPGs, I think a common mechanic that tends to get very complicated and mess up real badly is battle. Anything with combat in it, and that just goes really bad for a game. Mm-hmm. So one of the first, and it's not often I run into a game that's really bad, and it's also going to be the cover of our YouTube video. This game, that's how bad it is, and it's quite well known that it's that awful. It's Unlimited Saga. That is literally probably one of the worst games I've ever played.
Yeah.
So what makes that game so bad is just how many different things they tried to go outside of the norm, and it just doesn't work at all. So essentially that game looks like... So dying in that game is very... So most people would know when your HP hits 0, you're dead. Yeah. Game over, you start over. Yeah. Well, not in that game. When your HP hits 0, for some reason you're still alive. And
okay.
Yeah, it completely threw me off at first. So the way they kind of saw it was, your HP hits 0, but you're still alive, and then you have a thing called, what I believe is called LP. I think that was like life points or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was almost like a buffer. Your HP would hit 0, but then you still had LP for whatever reason that was, and that had to finally hit 0, and then you died. But it was so confusing like when playing it, and I bought it used, so I didn't have the guidebook. And by the way, anything published by Square Enix doesn't mean that's good.
True.
That game literally was awful. I mean, I didn't even know how bad it was. I got it used, and it was like...
Anything published by Square Enix doesn't automatically make it good. I mean, just look at all of the Final Fantasy games.
Yes, exactly. It's very true. And it's just... So I bought this game thinking that it was just automatically good. And it was... Don't get me... The art looks nice. I don't know anything about the story. I'm pretty sure the story was, at the very least okay.
Yeah.
But the fact that... So, the life points, that was a bother. The way you fought was also... After reading somebody's review off of GameFAQs, somebody was like... Somebody thought it was interesting, like the way they worded it. It sounds interesting. And in theory, I'm sure it is a very interesting thing. It looks like slot machines, though. Literally, it looks like you are pulling a lever for a slot machine. It's all completely chance-based. And it's just like, okay, this is really unusual. And then traveling on the map itself, it looks like a cross between, not Uncharted. It looks like a cross between Civilization...
Yeah.
And some kind of board game. Like, you can't... Like, the whole thing is grey, and it only, like, reveals itself as you kind of moving along, but it looks like a board game. And it's just awful. And you can pick different characters to start off, right? So I picked the first character, wasn't liking it, restarted the game, picked a different character, and literally 5 to 10 minutes of playing, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
That, like... To me, that's bad. When I basically have to put down the control and just say, no, I'm done. Goodbye. And I literally sold the game back. I didn't even I'm like, it's such trash. And, it sucks too, because later on going on reviews, I'm like, because I was just like, what is with this game and why do I not understand it? Going on reviews, that thing got like a 3 out of 10, I think, on like GameSpot.
Wow.
It's literally a bad game. Unlimited Saga. It is a terrible game. It's just... I mean... Just those things alone... were just unusual. Sometimes I appreciate a game trying to be different. So, another Square Enix game that's not very popular, but I've come to appreciate it, was Final Fantasy VIII. And it's definitely not a bad game, by any means. It's definitely not the most popular one. And there's a lot of things that they did different compared to the other Final Fantasy games. But there was a lot of things that I appreciate, like the magic, how you obtained magic in that game. I thought was pretty cool. The card system was cool. I like the fact that all the characters looked pretty adult and not some sort of chibi or, I don't know, had like a weird tail or anything. Like, I kind of like that about them. It didn't have anything to do with like royalty or anything. It was really interesting, Final Fantasy VIII, but it's also not people's favorites either. So I appreciate when games try to be different. That was just a little too much different, and it just was not working out well. Another game that also had to do with the battle that was not very good. Oh gosh, something's gonna try and play like auto ads. I hate that. That's so annoying. Resonance Fate.
That's a whole other like rant topic for another podcast.
Oh gosh, tell me about it, right? So Renaissance. I think I'm saying it right. Resonance Fate. I remember this back in. I remember people playing this in college. I believe it was published by Sega, and but also by Tri-Ace as well. They're responsible. Tri-Ace is responsible for basically the Star Ocean series.
Yeah.
And so finally I'm coming around to it. I was thinking of playing the game. That way it's something that we can upload onto our YouTube and people can watch another walkthrough. But it was so... It looks great. It seems like the story would be great. The battle is awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes no sense to me. I mean, and it's weird because they don't even give you a tutorial before actually engaging in your first battle. You kind of have to go slightly out of your way a little bit to do the tutorials for it. But it's just like... The battles are just so... It's bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, it just didn't make sense. I mean, if... You know it's pretty bad if you've been playing RPGs for years and you just can't pick it up and just start playing. If it's just so bad that you really need a tutorial, it's bad. It's just like, and it's funny because it's because the battle threw me off so hard that I went to GameFAQs. I'm on the boards on there a lot as Miss RPG Go, and I just asked the question. I'm like, okay, I started playing this, looked like it would be great. I got into battle, dear God. So what's people's opinion about this game? And basically, what quite a few people said was they pretty much all agreed the battle thing was unusual. Moving across the map was unusual. It's sort of like a hexagon system, and you have to pick up these pieces, which are dropped by monsters, and it's bizarre. But more often than not, a lot of people basically describe it as a game where you're either going to love it or hate it.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that's terrible. Yeah. Short story, pretty much the battle just kind of ruins the game, sadly. Looks great. I'm pretty sure the story's great. That combat system, though, is just god-awful.
Yeah.
The last worst game, and I'm pretty sure almost no one knows it, although I still get views on my GameFAQs for it. I one time reviewed Murasaki Miss. Let me see. I'm trying to pull it up real quick so I can get the name of it correctly. Hold on. Murasaki Miss Akara's Journey. That's on the Vita. That's a terrible game, and not even for the combat. It's terrible all around. It's like, and it sucks because, like, when you want to write a review, I mean, I try to say positive things about a game. I don't even remember if I said anything positive about this game. It's really bad. It's basically just bad game design. Yeah. I mean, frames drop. You're slipping and sliding everywhere with your character. Things that should be like if you're inside of a room, let's say you want to leave that room, you want to know where the door was.
Yeah.
There's a few things you can do, like maybe show where the door, like maybe actually show a door, or actually maybe have sort of what looks like light coming through the door, or sort of have like this little, almost like a square. It's something. There's usually small visual cues that you can do.
Yep.
To let someone know, like, the exit's here, but they have none of that. The monsters look, I mean, it's just overall bad.
Yeah.
Don't buy that game. I think I might have, either I paid for it because it was on sale and it was really, really cheap, or it was free when I was a PlayStation Plus member.
Yeah.
But it's terrible. That's actually one of the worst games I've ever played. And I managed to, I don't even know if I finished that game. It was so awful. All the awful games that I've mentioned, I've never finished. Like, I have a bad habit of not finishing games, but usually if it's awful, I generally can't go past like 5-10 minutes of playing. Yeah. Before I've just officially have just condemned it. Like, it's awful, it's bad, no one should be picking this up. I'm going to move on because I have a huge backlog, and I don't need to waste my time on a very terrible game. To kind of answer your original question, what makes a game bad?
Is there such a thing as like definitive categories that you can put things in though?
I think you can. So I think some games suffer from it has a really great story, but has really bad mechanics, and playing it is just such a chore.
Yeah.
And then I think some games have really good mechanics. They're fun to play.
Yeah.
But the story is just really bad. Like, actually, that's kind of almost how I felt about Final Fantasy 15. It's not the worst game I've ever played. It was relatively fun to play. The story was just awful.
Yeah.
It just, the way it's not even so much the story itself, because if you know the story, it's, from what I've heard, it's really interesting, actually. It's how it gets played out and how it's told. More specifically, that how it's told makes it pretty bad. Yeah, like I'll put it this way. What I personally, in my opinion, give Final Fantasy 15 like maybe a 6 or a 7.
Yeah.
If their story was just not even necessarily good, but just constructed into a way where, one, it's not confusing and it just flowed really well, I probably could have given that game like a 9.
Fair.
Yeah, it's just the way it's told, it's really bad for me. And I'm big into story, so to kind of butcher that up a bit, it's just, that was disappointing. But yeah, usually it's one or the other. It's either you've got really great mechanics, but a bad story, or you've got a great story but bad mechanics. I think bad mechanics ruin a game more than anything else than a bad story. I mean, I'm not saying a bad story can't ruin a game, but definitely, like, if it's not fun to play, if it's unplayable, chances are you're just not going to pick it up. Like, I can kind of go through a bad story, or I wouldn't say a bad story. I can go through a weak story.
Yeah.
I can't go through bad mechanics, though. I can't play through that.
Yeah. I think it takes you out of the immersion.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
It ruins the experience.
If I'm going to sum up what makes a game bad for me, is it's breaking the immersion.
Yeah.
Another thing that I would say that it annoys me, although I can think of good games or rather games that I would consider good that also do it, which are games that set up like a really rigid system for something, like, say, I don't know, like not mechanics based, but like, story based, like, magic can only be used by the select few people, or magic costs a lot of mana to do, blah, blah. And then they use magic all the fucking time. And it's like, why the fuck did you even introduce mana? If it's such a rare and powerful thing, why are people using it to clean dishes? Internal logic is what I like.
Yeah.
Also though, it can work the opposite way. If you say that magic is commonplace and, that everyone knows a little bit of magic, and then only the characters who are like the grand powerful wizards use magic, and you don't, show people using, just mundane magic to, clean the dishes or whatever, or kill some rats. It's a disconnect between what you've said and what you've shown.
So you kind of like it to be... So maybe you probably wouldn't like Star Ocean.
If you make a rule, stick to it.
So, want to know the funny thing about the Star Ocean games? Despite the fact that despite the fact that it's a very sci-fi game, it's not very in a sci-fi setting.
Fair.
Which is unusual.
There is one exception, of course, to the if you set something up, don't break it. Which is, if you're going for the trope of I don't know, like I call it like the Wizard of Oz trope. So it's, you know, only the great and powerful wizard can use magic. And it turns out that he can't even use magic. It's just clever pulleys and levers. You know,
Or,
like if you're going to set that up, then set it up. But unless you're setting something like that up, you know, you're setting up a trope to then subvert it or break it. Don't set up a thing and then not stick, you know, like not, you know, I can think of some great examples, actually.
Yeah.
Where that actually happens. So things such as, oh god, I said I can think of some great examples, and then my brain's just gone, yeah, I'm gonna go for a walk now. You know,
yeah. I was about to say I nearly had an example for you too, and I think I just lost it.
Yeah.
Wait, what were you just saying? What were you mentioning? Because maybe I'll remember it again.
Yeah. So.
No, I remembered. I remember what I was gonna say. So I think I know what you're talking about. Where it's kind of like I hate it when it's sort of like when something is told to me that this thing is very, very dangerous, and it could totally wipe out all humanity. Blah 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 blah. But you're playing the game, and it's kind of like, okay, I haven't seen anything like this yet. Like, I'm not scared of whatever it is that you're talking about.
Yeah.
You keep mentioning that this person's scary. You keep mentioning that this object is
Show,
very
don't
terrifying.
tell.
Yeah, like, it's almost like you keep telling me this, but I haven't seen anything scary about it. Yeah, like, I kind of dislike that. That's how it kind of was for me when I played Tales of Xillia.
Yeah.
I was just constantly told...
Also... Pardon?
No, that's what I'm just saying. That's how Tales of Xillia was. It was just I was constantly told that things were dangerous, but I just didn't know why they were dangerous.
Yeah. One thing I've thought of a similar but different thing. If you say, "Oh no, we only have 2 weeks to stop the evil necromancer," give me a fucking countdown timer. I don't want to then be able to go off and do 600 side quests.
Yeah,
like,
right.
If you give me a fucking time-limited goal, give me a time-limited goal and give me consequences.
Like 2 days in a game for somehow managed to be like 80 hours worth of gameplay.
It's like, yeah, these 2 days in a game that before the evil necromancer kills everybody, somehow I've managed to, you know, get 17 chickens for Farmer Joe and, you know, sell off all of my worldly possessions 6 times over. I've bought 6 houses. And I've played 7 games of Monopoly. I mean, just playing 7 games of Monopoly in 2 days is, like, completely unrealistic.
Yeah.
How has the character not committed suicide? We're definitely getting demonetized.
Oh yeah. Just don't even monetize this one. It'll just be a regular podcast.
I'm not even going to try and edit this at this point. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to, like, remove the silences. I'm not even going to try. Fuck it. Farm it.
Gosh.
Farm it, everyone. Farm it.
Farming. Oh, man. Yeah, Farm
that grass. Oh, no, that's a drugs reference. Anyway, so... Bad video games. Have you ever played E.T. the Extraterrestrial on the Atari?
No, but I've heard of the legend and just how much that game pretty much just... It just almost got rid of it, the Atari altogether. I mean...
Not just that, but it was directly responsible for the crash of the video game industry in '83.
Yeah, I mean...
Truckloads of cartridges were buried in a landfill in New Mexico.
I think that's another thing I dislike are games that come from movies.
Movie tie-ins.
Ugh. Although I will say this though, this year I did try playing The Hobbit.
Yeah.
On PC, and I kind of liked it actually. It was pretty fun. Yeah, like it was way more fun than I thought. It's a mix of it's like a platformer game. But I guess you can say there was some puzzles in between, like scene where the hobbits Well, no, Hobbit. Sorry, there's really just one. The scene where they get the dwarves get captured by those big monsters. I can't think of them right now. Those colossals or whatever. They get captured, and so Bilbo Baggins, he has to sort of sneak up behind them. I'm actually stuck at that scene because you have to try and sneak behind them, have them not see you, but if you step onto a leaf, they automatically hear you, and you have to kind of restart, and it's sort of done like in checkpoints. So that one is actually pretty good, but the other ones, I'm just like, how good are they really? Like these, like how good is maybe like a Pixar game, video game? You know what I mean? Yeah, those I does. Maybe they just don't appeal to me, but
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Another game that nearly caused the death of this time of genre, Night Trap, 1992.
I haven't heard of that one.
I've played a little bit of it, and it was awful.
Oh, really?
Like,
now?
Like cheesy. How to think of it? Like cheesy chick flick film, almost.
Yeah.
Because it's an interactive movie game, so it's like most of the gameplay takes place while a movie is going on. So you're watching the movie, like it's a live action movie, and then you interact with it, and then different things happen, but the acting is just so bad.
Ugh.
And it's not so bad that it's The Room, granted.
Yeah.
But it's getting there. It's getting there.
Oh.
And it's not like it's wooden or stilted, so you can just like zone out. But I think it's the script writing more than anything.
Oftentimes that's what it is too.
Yeah.
And
it'll be like one of them will tell a joke, and then there'll be like a 5-second pause, and then there'll be ah! This really obnoxious laugh, and it's just like, why? Also, rip headphone users. I just looked like Audacity just updated the sound profile for that bit, and I'm just like, oh, whoops.
A game that we definitely cannot forget to mention that has severely disappointed me. No Man's Sky.
I was getting to that.
Oh my gosh. So originally I wasn't gonna buy this game, right?
Yep.
And I'm so glad they ran out of the collector's edition, because that was what was going to almost make me get it. The collector's edition. It came with a really cool like spaceship.
Yeah.
But so I couldn't get it, so I passed on it for a while. And then I saw people streaming the game, and it seemed interesting, and streamers were like, "Oh, it's really not as bad as you think." I'm like, "Oh, okay, it's not as bad as I think then. Well, I'll go buy it." So I went to the store, tried to buy it. They didn't have any physical copies. Supposedly, you could only pre-order the physical copies if you wanted them, or something like that. So then I went ahead and bought it digitally. Terrible idea. That's the one thing I hate about digital games. If you don't like it, you can't take it back.
Yeah.
Unless it's Steam, I think it's like a certain amount of hours, but for
2 hours.
PlayStation, 2 hours, yeah. For PlayStation, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah.
So, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any kind of like return policy, on PlayStation
Not that
games.
I know of.
Yeah. So I bought the game, and first off, it reminded me of the game. Do you know Myst?
Yes.
Yeah. So it reminded me of that.
Adore Myst.
Yeah. It reminded me of that. I felt like it should have been that. You know what I mean?
Space Myst.
Exactly. Space Myst.
It wasn't.
It was not at all.
It wasn't.
It should have been a cross between Myst and some kind of survival game. It was so repetitive, and it had no storyline. I just didn't even know, like, what I was doing. I was just sort of doing things. And, the whole goal is to get to the center of the universe, but I'm just like, you're making that journey very boring for me.
And when you get to the center of the universe, it resets you at the edge of the universe.
Have you done it? Have you seen it?
I've seen people do it, and I'm like, Why the fuck would I spend all these hours getting to the centre of the universe just to have a well done and then be sent to the edge of the universe? You know what it was? It was a fucking glorified desert bus.
It really was.
If you know Desert Bus.
No, I don't.
It's a game made by Penn and Teller, which was meant to be the worst video game of all time. And it's 8 hours of driving a desert bus from, where is it? It's something like, it ends up in Nevada, and I think it starts in, like, New Mexico or something, so the drive would actually take you...
It's probably something like a Route 66 kind of a thing.
Think so, yeah. And the drive would actually take you 8 hours. But the point is, you can't just, like, start it running and leave it, because you have to keep tapping the left button, because your desert bus veers off course. And if you go off the road, you lose. And the drive takes 8 actual real world hours.
Dear God.
Like, it's a real-time game. And if you make it once, you get 1 point. You make it back, you get a second point. I think the high score is 16 or something. There's no pause button. There's nothing. And it's considered not a good game, but it's not considered a bad game, though, because it was meant to be bad.
Yeah.
But No Man's Sky is a glorified desert bus.
It was awful, and I remember...
You get to the centre of the galaxy, it goes, well done, you reached the centre of the galaxy, sets you right back at the beginning and gives you a point.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
And the worst was, when it first came out, it was bad.
Yeah.
And what was crazy was, shortly after it coming out, one of the developers was like, oh, we're thinking about having some DLC to, like, I think either to improve the game, but they were like, we're going to have some DLC to improve the game. And I was just like, fuck you. No. Like, your game is already bad. Why in the world would you expect people to pay for your game? Which obviously they didn't do. Yeah, I think they saw how absolutely... It was just stupid. Here. Okay, yeah, quote.
Yeah, I quote here. Hello Games has since released several major updates to the game to incorporate some of these missing features, as well as other significant additions, which have been met with praise, bringing the game to a state that they had expected prior to its launch and grow beyond that. However, the game is still considered a key reminder of what to avoid in marketing of a game, with many commentators discussing the proper means to generate interest in games in a post-No Man's Sky world.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, and it's, and, and I feel like, hopefully people have learned their lesson.
Well, let's say this, it's the only game, like, it's the only bad game that is in my list of bad games to mention today that has its own award named after it for next week.
Oh, God. It's, the funny thing is, it was just like, yeah, a lot of people, they blame them for, like, false advertisement. It was really just so hyped up.
Yeah.
For, essentially what was an indie game, And it was just really disappointing. And hopefully people learn their lessons and realize once you put out a bad game, you can't fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, it just don't matter how much DLC patches you do. You can't fix a bad game. I would prefer someone to just constantly, even for Final Fantasy 15, I understand that I guess they had to release it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of felt like they were doing the same thing. I felt like they were releasing a game that they know just was not done and was not ready. And then they were just gonna keep sending in patches of the game. And me, it's like, I'm not gonna go back, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go back every couple of months just to replay something that you wanted to put in. But it's just like,
that was meant to be in the original fucking release.
Exactly, that that was meant to be in the original release. You just know it was, because it's just missing so much. You can just tell. And it's like, I wish people could understand. It's like, I would prefer you to delay your game again. As much as I wanted to come out, it's like, I would prefer if you just kept delaying it. If it means that it's just going to make it that much better. Because you patching it in, I don't think I've ever really seen a good example where, like, it works that well. You can patch in things, don't get me wrong, that's bad, or that's not working as intended, but...
Or you can bug fix, things like that, you know?
Yeah, but to actually think that, when you have to patch that much stuff, when it's a substantial amount of stuff, I feel like, there's just no hope, honestly. You can't really fix it, so... Yeah, I haven't
Speaking of games that have no hope, though...
Oh, no.
Speaking of games that have no hope, Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. This game is so bad that I was considering doing a charity live stream of continuous, non-stop, let's complete in one sitting Sonic 06 for charity over the summer of 2018, and then thought that it might not be the best idea to televise on Twitch my eventual suicide.
Alex. What the...
It is that bad. It is that bad.
Which one was this out for? What did it come out on?
This, I believe, was on... Yes, it was on, I think, PS something. Hold on. It was on... Okay, released on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I haven't... The last good one that I've heard of, besides the most recent one that came out this year, I know my cousin, he had the Sonic the Hedgehog, the one that was on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
That one was really good.
No Sonic game has been as bad as Sonic 06.
Oh, yeah, I'm reading right here. A terrible jumpy camera, lousy collision, and an uninspired and downright creepy story are the three things that a AAA title should avoid at all costs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, bad mechanics.
Where is it? I quote here, game trailers criticise the story as well by saying that you might actually be better off reading internet fanfiction.
Oh. It's one of those things where it's like, if you want a really bad game, have bad mechanics and a bad story. Then you've got a really bad game.
It's not just a bad storyline, though. It's none of it makes sense. It contradicts itself. It tries to do time travel when it doesn't even know what it's doing with any of the story in any of the time periods. And spoiler warning, there's a furry kiss at the end with Sonic kissing Elise, who is a human female, and he's a sentient hedgehog.
I thought, isn't Elise isn't she the pink hedgehog?
No.
What is... send me a link of what
Princess
she
Elise.
Like.
Princess Elise. Princess Elise, because she thinks that Sonic has just died, and she brings him back to life by kissing him. And it's this beautiful, heartfelt moment that made all of us want to die.
Oh, I see her now. That is why is she in there? Because it's not like they really have human characters in Sonic, do they? And except for Dr. Robotnik's.
Yeah, Dr. Eggman. And it's just but seriously, it's...
I think she's supposed to be, because I'm seeing a few pictures. I understand that she's a woman, but is she also supposed to be... Was that the version of her that was supposed to be that pink little girl or whatever it is?
No, that's Amy.
Wow.
Who's also in the game.
They look so similar. Why they do that?
And it's it's just it's kill me, please. It's just, I would rather die than have to play Sonic 06. If you ever want to torture me, then
play that.
Make me. Okay, this though, there's the YouTube link. I'm gonna just send that to you and let you watch that.
Oh, should I watch it now? Let's. Oh no! And maybe you're gonna have to put the video in the podcast. I see it now.
I might put it in the corner. I'll try. Yeah.
Sonic is laying there. The gems are circling around. I also don't like Sonic with the very long legs.
Yeah, Sonic has never really recovered from Sonic 06, and we don't talk about Sonic 06. The first rule of the Sonic fandom is we do not talk about Sonic 06. Second rule of the Sonic fandom is we do not talk about Sonic 06.
I think
Rip
she's
headphone
about.
users.
I think she's about to kiss him.
You'll get to it.
There it is. Now he's Gold Sonic.
Yeah, now he's gone Super Saiyan, and it's just like, why? This doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any fucking sense. None of that game makes any sense, and it's just
It
like,
is a little
thought
strange.
This is a good idea.
Like they're hugging, and it's just a little too much emotion.
Who thought this was a good idea?
Oh, that's awful.
Here you go. Sega delisted the game from retailers in 2010, following its decision to remove all Sonic games with below-average Metacritic scores to increase the value of the brand due to positive pre-release responses to Sonic Hedgehog 4 and Sonic Colors.
He's still transforming or something like that.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Here you go. The plot was considered confusing and inappropriately dark. Games Radar considered it overwrought and conceptually challenged, and Eurogamer found its voice acting painful and its cutscenes cringeworthy. Some reviewers unfavourably compared the story to that of an anime or Final Fantasy. No. Anime and Final Fantasy are better. That's unfair on anime, and that's really unfair on Final Fantasy. The romance between Sonic and the human Princess Elise were especially criticised for Gates TM. It marked the point the Sonic series has veered off into absolute nonsense. This is a mess from top to bottom, where at GameSpot that only the most blindly reverent Sonic the Hedgehog fan could possibly squeeze any enjoyment out of.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, after this day, we are not allowed to talk about Sonic 6.
Sonic 06.
Sonic 06.
Yeah.
It's over. We're done.
Another game that has its year of release in its title, SimCity 2013. Also terrible, the game that killed fucking SimCity.
Oh,
it is the game that killed SimCity.
Why is there so much audio?
What on?
Oh, there it is. There we go. Because I got another game lined up that's bad. Not really bad, but yeah. So what about this? What SimCity? So I stopped playing SimCity at
SimCity 4.
Yeah, that's when I officially stopped playing the SimCity games.
What we did with between SimCity 4 and SimCity 2013, we took away all of the fun. We added in microtransactions. We added in online-only play.
Oh my gosh.
We added not enough server capacity for the online-only play. We added lag. We added mandatory multiplayer, where people could join into your thing at any point who you didn't know and completely wreck everything. We added microtransactions, like I say. We added DLC that wasn't even fun. We added mandatory side quests. We added... Oh god, I'm trying to think. They sucked all of the joy out. Okay, so one of the squares. So have you played City Skylines? Or do you know City Skylines?
I know City Skylines. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know how the map is divided up into squares.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you reach certain milestones, you can buy a new square. Okay.
Mhm.
The entirety of the map. Okay.
Yeah.
Relative size of the map for SimCity 2013 and the map for City Skylines, okay? So one city square in City Skylines can hold the entire map of SimCity 2013, which contains up to 12 places to build cities. Okay?
Yeah.
And SimCity 2013 lags to hell when you play one of the cities, let alone 12, and City Skylines can simulate a bigger area much easier with no lag whatsoever.
Jeez.
Did I mention the online-only DRM? So, those without an internet connection or those without a stable internet connection can't even fucking play. Which is me!
Yeah, sounds,
Ugh!
terrible.
It was the game that made me lose all faith in EA. I mean, Sims 3 almost did that for me, but 2013 pushed it over the edge.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and show you this video.
Oh, God.
Of, and I'm going to try and fast forward to... Sorry. I'm still kind of sick. Yeah. I'm gonna try and fast forward to where, so... other things that I hate about, certain games are, excessive nudity.
Yeah.
I mean, like... You know, and it's usually, let's face it, it's usually women that they do it to.
Yep.
I kind of don't mind when a woman is in, like, I guess a skimpy outfit. But this one particular game took it way too far. I originally bought it because it was like a collector's edition sort of a thing. It was a collector's edition, and I was just like, you know, okay, doesn't seem that bad. It was pretty affordable. Why not? Terrible idea.
Yeah.
Like, really awful idea. And so here, I'm going to drop in that link for you so you can check it out. So the game is called Onechambara Z2. And they have the Banana Split Edition. And basically, you can get it down to where so that these women are essentially wearing what looks like strawberries on top of their nipples and a banana on their vaginas. And we pretty much cannot monetize this video at all. This podcast. It's so awful. We've just talked about too many things.
An tiny yellow eeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
So, did you check out that video?
I'm looking at it now and I'm just like, hold on. Why? What?
It's just like, I mean...
Okay, so I know I'm gay, so I'm not really getting the appeal of it, but still.
It's too much, isn't it?
Why?
Like, way too much. Like, why would you do that?
Like, who can get enjoyment out of this? Because you're going to have two hands on the control, so what guy has a third hand?
I mean, it's just like, oh my gosh.
Interactive media that you need a controller for are not the thing to have that level of nudity in.
It's just like, oh my goodness. You know, and so...
For practicality's sake.
Cause I think when it came with the collector's edition, I want to say it came with like a book, and you can kind of see them in the book like that too. I mean, you might as well just have given me a porno. Actually, that's just pretty much. It's just like.
Because then you have two hands free.
Exactly. It's just so terrible. I mean, you know, and. I didn't play too much of it, but I don't even feel like I remember what really the story was about, or so it's not even like it had a great story or anything of that sort. It's just, you know, but all of the nudity, it's just, it's overdone. I mean, it's overblown. I'm trying to look up one video where the guy's flipping through the book, because I think, it's even in the book as well. But I just don't get it, you know. They're essentially wearing a banana peel and two 2 strawberries.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that's something else. Here, I've almost got it too. But yeah, that's just and he just has it open on that side. That is literally what they're wearing. Literally a banana, not even a banana peel. A banana.
Yeah.
A banana. That is something else. You know.
No prizes for how it's attached.
Yeah, you don't know how it's attached. It's on them. That's all you need to know. That's all that should matter. Is that it's on them. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind games where you put women or men in skimpy outfits, but it's just like, is that really necessary? Like at some point, we're just going way too far.
My only reaction to this.
You just saw it.
My only reaction. I have no other words.
It's shocking, isn't it? Yeah, you just saw the second video, right?
No, not yet. Oh God, do I want to? Do I want to? Oh no! Now it's open twice.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I wonder how many different outfits they gave those ladies. Yeah, and you could customize each outfit. It was really interesting. Yeah, I sold back that game, by the way.
Just why?
It's terrible. Yeah.
Why?
It must appeal. It must appeal somebody.
I don't get straight people. Right, that's it. I've offended all of the demographics of this podcast. Oh, just call me the modern day Hitler. Right.
Oh. You might just have to bleep that one out.
I might have to. Video banned in Germany.
Yeah. That was pretty bad. Are there any
Here is another game that is that. Ride to Hell, Retribution.
I don't know it.
Don't.
That's the point, right?
I quote here, Daniel Starkey of GameSpot considered Ride to Hell Retribution to be painfully insubstantial and broken all round, criticising its plot for showing a pathetic, out-of-touch approach to sex, violence and masculinity, and believing its developers were showing a lack of respect towards players due to the game's abysmal quality. Describing it as the newest candidate for worst game of all time, Starkey gave Ride to Hell a 1 out of 10, making it only the second game behind Big Rigs to receive GameSpot's lowest possible rating.
It's pretty bad.
Again, if we ever do a poll of our viewership of hey guys, we're going to be doing a charity live stream, what games do you want to play? If you vote for these sorts of games,
I'll tell you right now.
I'm going to go around and find all of you and do unspeakable things.
I'll tell you right now. We played that on the Chambra. We'll get some views.
Probably.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Whereas I use this to describe Minecon on Earth, and I will use it to describe Ride to Hell Retribution. I would rather be covered in cuts and bathing in lemon juice.
That's creepy. My whole skin is crawling.
I'm the worst person.
Oh my gosh.
This is why people listen, just because everybody hates me.
No, we love you.
Ew.
Oh, well fine. Then we don't love you.
I'm fully expecting people to now find my Twitter and give me all of the hate. And for that, I say, bring it on, bitches. I took the hate when I gave fucking Beyond. No, what was it? What was the game? The one with the lesbians.
No, I don't know.
Kindred Spirits on the Roof. When I gave Kindred Spirits a bad review, I got all of the hate from the otakus, and if I can take that, I can take you. Bring it. Bring it. Please don't send me hate. I don't want to cry this week. It's Christmas.
Aww. We don't want you crying.
Alternatively, send me hate mail and I'll read it out next week.
Oh my gosh. Please send us hate mail so we can read it.
Specifically me, send me hate mail. I will read my hate mail out next week.
Yes.
Point out all of my flaws. Fuck it. I want to be self-critical. Not self-critical, but I will counter your criticism. on thingy. Bring it.
Oh.
I can't believe we tried to record this podcast 3 times and this is the one that survived.
I can't believe it. And it's so... We cannot monetize this one at all. Do not click that box for monetization on this one. It's gone too far.
This is why people should come on and be guests.
Yes.
Maybe we won't end up with me encouraging people to send me hate mail.
Yes. We need to get more people on the podcast.
Yes, we do.
Oh, that being said, should we wrap up?
I think we should start wrapping up, yeah. So what are you going to be playing this week?
I've already started playing, what's it called? Sakura Wars, So Long My Love. Episodes come out.
We need to record more of that.
Yeah, so we can do the commentary. The regular videos come out, all the Thanksgiving and stuff like that just kind of gets in the way, and the Christmas and blah, blah, blah. So it's just getting difficult to do the commentary. But the regular videos, I've got them coming out, let's see, I think Wednesday and Friday. And I want to get the commentary videos out Thursday and... No, I want to get the commentary videos out Thursday and Saturday. Like I said, difficult to get the commentary videos out now because... just with our schedules and everything, all the different holidays and this and that, that's been getting in our ways. But worst case, I'll probably just have to bring on a different guest real quick just to knock him out the way. But yeah, that's about it. I'm trying to find another game to play, and I'm thinking maybe it's going to have to be
Sonic 06.
Oh no! I'm thinking I need to get through my physical games, so I'm thinking maybe some of the Dot Hack series.
Okay, I was considering doing like a Let's Play of some kind.
How does that work a bit? I mean, to do most of the Let's Plays, I see a lot of people they like to talk, but I mean, I'd rather just watch. Do you see any Let's Plays where people are not talking?
A few, yeah. And they work. They do work.
Yeah. I think if there's really good cutscenes, and I guess I kind of like it when it's there's like an optional commentary version. But yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer Let's Plays over streaming.
I mean, so because maybe over Christmas, I might just record a whole bunch of shit. And then, if we had two things, two Let's Plays going on at the same time, like your Sakura Wars and mine, whatever I would play.
Yeah.
Would that work?
Yeah, just upload it. I would just want it on a different day.
Oh, yeah. Spread them out over the week, definitely.
Yeah. But that would work. I'm fine with that.
I'm sure we can find something. Oh, that reminds me, I need to figure out what the hell I'm going to put for the background of this one.
Yeah, I would pick, I I would pick a Let's Play that has some kind of dialogue.
I have a few ideas of what I might play.
All right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the hardest thing really was just watching them together.
Yeah.
I do want to try that rabbit. That's pretty funny how they spelt their website, because it's rabbit, RABB.IT.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting. That's clever. I kind of like that a bit.
But yeah, anyway, so you're going to be playing those things. I'm not sure what I'm going to be playing, but I'll find something to play, I'm sure.
Yeah. So
I need to record a thing to put in the background of this video, so... As well, though, if anybody's got any suggestions for things we should play, like we should have a go at, then...
Just tweet us.
Tweet us. Let us know. Comment on our, thing. All of that sort of shit,
Yeah.
Like, I want to get more viewer interaction. Please, somebody come onto the live stream, because it's been lonely as fuck.
Oh.
It's so hard to live stream when you're like the only person. You're talking to yourself.
If there wasn't a 5-hour gap between us, and
I know,
and I'm technically at work, I wouldn't mind. But it's just I'm at work.
I know. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll badger Badger James until he comes on. But yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to be playing, but I'll find something. It'll be fine. And I don't have many other words.
We're terrible at ending this.
Yeah, so remember that this is going up on Friday, so again, the sorry, my brain is like mush right now. Okay, so yes, we are live streaming at 8:30 on Friday nights now, and the podcast goes live at 8 PM on Fridays. CubeDamers.com is our website. Our Twitch is Sean.
On Twitch. What about?
What are our Twitter and Twitch handles?
Oh, our Twitter is just Cube Gamers. Our Twitch should be just Cube Gamers as well.
Okay. At this point, hopefully by this point we'll have switched from Cube Gamers Wolfie to Cube Gamers.
All right, yeah. Oh, yeah, because I've got everything. I've got all the passwords and everything. So yeah,
you got it. Cool.
Yeah,
we'll sort that later.
All right.
But yeah. Then the other thing. Oh, brain has died. Yeah, come hang out in the live stream. Tweet us. Send us hate. Send us love.
Send us love.
Send us cookies.
Oh yeah, cookies.
Remember, it's the awards ceremony next week, so that will be a thing. And you can leave us comments about what awards you would like to see in the awards ceremony, and I might choose a 13th category of like player's choice, like listener's choice or something.
All right.
Yeah, okay, so listeners, if you leave a comment with your favourite game of 2017, I'll choose a few as like the listener's choice section, which might be quite nice. Or you can tweet them to us or something like that. And we will see you all next week. I've not missed anything, have I?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, so we will see you next week. That's been NewsCube episode 9, The Worst Video Games. I have been the worst Wolfie, and she has been the best Sean. And this has been the worst ending.
The worst ending, the worst podcast, and we are never monetizing this video.
How the fuck we got renewed for a second season, I have no idea. Who thought it was a good idea to leave me in charge? I can see the next meeting with Chaz now. It's just going to be, Alex, stop it. The entire meeting is just going to be a reprimand. Worst thing is, I'll be the one taking the notes, so I'll have to write it all down. Anyway, that's been the NewsCube. I've been Wolfie, she's been Sian, and we will see you next week.
Alright, bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.